magnificent over the weekend.
Oh, yeah. It might be a little hotter this coming weekend. It will be hotter.
We cannot complain about that.
Okay, that's where I was.
Yeah.
That's where I was going with that. Thank you. A 2-year turf war between tennis and pickleball players over where to locate a centralized San Diego pickleball facility has taken a significant turn.
Allie Wagner's live at the La Jolla Tennis facility to explain. She joins us from the club right now. Hey, take it away, Allie.
Hi, you guys. Yes, where people are up playing tennis bright and early this morning. I have John Broderick, who is here with us. Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for coming out here and talking tennis with me.
Yeah, so something that's very interesting, something that we were talking about. In San Diego, yes, there has been, well, nationwide, there's been this turf war between pickleball and tennis courts. But in San Diego, we've actually seen an explosion of tennis as well.
It's an explosion of tennis in the country, probably more so in San Diego. We have so many things in San Diego. We have our own Hall of Fame. We have the Tennis Fest that we do that is the biggest event of its kind in the entire country. All ages, all abilities come out there. That's in May every year. We have the WTA 500 now here in San Diego, thanks to Ryan Redondo and the Barnes Tennis Center. We've had the ATP 250. We have the Pro Series that just ran through here. We have this tournament. This is the longest standing that's going on right now. This is the longest standing tournament in the entire world at one venue since 1917. So this is tennis in San Diego is a really big deal. You've got clubs like Balboa have a 2-year waiting list. Rancho Penasquitos 2-year waiting list. San Diego Tennis Racket Club 3-year waiting list. So it's exploding, and people are not really talking about it like they are pickleball.
Yeah, because pickleball has obviously gained popularity in the last few years. I said I was just at the Hub in Spring Valley where there are, they're looking for courts. They're looking for places that people can play. So what is the answer to this turf war between pickleball and tennis?
Well, the city's actually provided a lot of places to play. Now, in terms of these dedicated facilities, Barnes now is offering 19. There's going to be a hub for pickleball in San Diego proper now, and that was just announced a little over a week ago. Yeah. So that's happening, and the city's providing other places to play. They actually have 8 other courts in Kearny Mesa. There's another location in central San Diego that they're making available for just dedicated courts. They're in the process. They'll happen this year. There's 109 places in San Diego proper to play. And that's being worked on. It's a process. I mean, these courts weren't built overnight. It took them, decades to get these kind of places built. So, the argument is certainly why come in here and try and just take over these courts that are funded by tennis people and don't cost the city a dime. So that's been, the heart of that battle. But in fact, Rancho Penasquitos is adding 3 courts. Well, the courts, got funded. It took them 5 years to get them funded. Now it's going to take them another 3 years to get those courts, actually built. So those kind of things in San Diego just don't happen overnight.
Yeah, but obviously the dedicated pickleball courts now at the Barnes Tennis Center, and you're kind of seeing the change here. But obviously tennis and pickleball both kind of exploding, especially here in San Diego. And yeah, we've got some players hanging out this morning, you guys. I'll send things back over to you for now.
All right, sounds good. Already action on the court. Significant turn.
Allie Wagner, as we go to you in La Jolla at the tennis club there, a viewer just reached out to me and said, do you know how many pickleball courts the city provides us pickleball players? And the answer was 0. So to me, that sounds like an investment opportunity for somebody who, build your pickleball facility. It'd be a gold mine, would it not?
Yeah, and I think that there are those facilities that are popping up. In fact, the Bobby Riggs facility, as well as the Hub in Spring Valley. And I'm sure that, John, so we had somebody who had written in who said, hey, the city doesn't provide any pickleball courts. And what would your response to that be? There are pickleball courts, but obviously the city hasn't provided any.
The city has provided pickleball courts. There are 109 of them in San Diego. They're just different places. They're not a hub facility per se, but now that Barnes has 19, that's available to anybody from the public to come and play at. So yeah, the city's in the process of adding courts. The ones at Kearny Mesa, Camino del Sol, in central San Diego. You've got them popping up, but it takes time to get those things going. Pickleball took off only in the last couple of years, so it takes time in the city to get those things set up. as you know, property is pretty expensive in San Diego. It's not something that just happens overnight.
Right. But there are obviously areas you had talked about where you were like, hey, in tennis, you guys have gone, asked for grants, and really kind of tried to go and improve some of the courts. And you say, hey, pickleball should be doing the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's a process in the city that we have to go through, as we're doing at Rancho Penasquitos. A grant was requested about 4 or 5 years ago. It finally got approved. It's going to take another 2-3 years for that to happen. So even for tennis, we're trying to get more courts. That's the process we know we have to go through, and we have to be patient with it. It's not going to happen overnight.
Well, and you said, hey, as somebody who obviously tennis is your first love, you also enjoy those paddle sports. And there is an explosion of tennis going on as well in kind of conjunction with this.
It has, ever since COVID, all the racket sports. There's another racket sport called padel that's biggest, it's the fastest growing in the world. Pickleball is the fastest growing in the country, but at the same time, tennis is exploding 25%, and more so here in San Diego, as we talked about before. And so, yeah, I mean, tennis is the sport that I'm most passionate about, but all these sports are great for people that want to get out and, get some exercise and improve their mental health.
Yeah, and this is actually, we're here at the La Jolla Tennis Club. There's a big tournament that's going on here right now.
And as I mentioned before, this is the longest standing tournament in the world that's at the same venue for all this time. It's 107 years it's been going on, and it's running. The family events start on Wednesday. They go through Friday, and then everything else, all the open and the age division place begins again on Friday through Sunday. The semifinals and the finals happen then, and yeah, it's a great tournament. It's been going on obviously forever.
Okay, well, and in regards to this kind of turf war over the courts in tennis and pickleball, like you said, there has been courts that have been added now at the Barnes Tennis Center, and obviously there's got to be some way for everybody to coexist and be able to play these racket sports.
There is. I mean, again, Barnes is the perfect example. You've got hubs for padel, tennis, and pickleball now at the same facility. That's a theme that we think is going to happen throughout a lot of other facilities in the country, where we have multiple racket sports being condensed into one facility like that, so that a lot of people play both. They don't only play one. You'll see people playing beach tennis, in fact, and tennis, and padel, and pickleball. I see all these people going from one to the other because I play all 4 of them. Yeah, they're all great sports.
Okay, well, there you have it. And some pretty great competitors behind me this morning. I'm feeling pretty lazy right about now, as they've gotten in their full workout this morning. I'll send things back over.